the podcast, season 2, episode 3. In total, this is 30.
Yep.
30. Big 3-0. Glad to be back. As you see from last episode, we have 2 of the same rifles sitting out here. These are both 2 newer rifles to each of us, and new cans to each of us. So we have a pretty good story. A few things to go over. We got to test out our new equipment. Or I would say it's pretty good testing.
Yeah.
Shot them at the range. I've got maybe 180 shots through this rifle. You've got what? About the same through that one?
Probably close.
Yeah. So got decent amount of range practice with both of these. Both of them chambered in 308, 20-inch barrel and a 22, 24.
Yeah, I think so. 24 sounds right.
Yeah. Both heavier rifles. His is definitely heavier than mine. And anyway, so jumping right into it, we decided let's go put these rifles to the real world test, see what they do. Which I got off work a little later than planned, so we kind of rushed. I'd already had the rifle and everything ready to go. Swung by, picked him up. We rushed out to the lease, which is about 45, 50 minutes away. We get out there about, 5:02?
Yeah, like right at 5. We had
Yeah.
20 minutes in technical daylight.
Yeah, so we get out there 5:02-ish. Gets sunset around 5:20. We pull up, and the whole way there we were talking, we're like, man, I hope we see something. We're not going to have very much time to hunt. Hopefully we can get out there and pop something. I told them that the pigs are pretty prominent out there. They're pretty well scheduled, I guess you could say, is when they show up. Sure enough, we pull in the gate and I scan the field and immediately I see about, I don't know.
25, 30 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Couple, what would you think that was? How far do you think it was from the gate? Like 1,500?
No, that's probably I'd say about 1,000. About 1,000 yards.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 yards out. We see him on the tree line. I was like, all right, here we go. Getting here late, we're going to have to make this happen. So we pull up, we drive down a couple hundred yards, park on the fence line, and we get out. I change out of my street clothes, throw on some just camos. Not really needed at the time, but I just threw them on just because they didn't smell like work. And we start walking, and immediately we realized we were out of shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. We just, need to do a little more cardio. And these are heavier rifles. They're not unbearable. I wouldn't say. So also, as we go into this is kind of going to be our first take on how we experienced the rifles for hunting and just how they performed.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, they are heavier than what I'm used to. I'd say this is around 12 pounds with everything on it, suppressor and all. You said yours what?
16.6 without ammo.
Yeah. So with ammo, you're looking a little over 17.
Yeah.
Just.
Probably right at 17.
Yeah.
You know, 10 rounds, so it's not that much.
Well, I know you got that big 10-round mag a little.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy heavy, but yeah, you're probably sitting right at 17.
17 and a half loaded. Maybe 17 and a half, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And you don't have a sling on it yet, which made it a little...
Yeah, I have one. I just didn't take it off my AR to throw it on there. But I do want to get the Vickers. I know it's just like live and learn kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do is get a Vickers, like the padded sling.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my, I don't want to say goal, but it's the one thing I want to add to this rifle specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Because carrying your rifle around with that, it's not bad, but it could definitely be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially, right there in the trap area, right along the neck, it's just rubbing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is a tank. It is a cannon of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, getting adjusted to the heavierness of the rifle compared to your average hunting rifle, which the B14 HMR, it stands for hunting match rifle. Definitely well capable of being used as a hunting rifle. Just with,
I don't think I'd use it for like a spot and stock. Like if we're gonna go sit in a blind, I think that's pretty good. It's a shorter barrel.
yeah. I definitely am gonna test it out in some spot and stock stuff. As far as like walking around kite hunting, this may be the rifle I take with me when we go elk hunting. I don't know. Definitely want to do some long range stuff with it, but yeah, it wasn't that bad carrying it. So we walk, and after we got out of the truck, we walked about 100 yards over to the mid line of the property, and I'd say that at that time the pigs were probably about 400, 500 yards out.
I think they're closer to about 6.
Yeah.
Like I think from where that barbed wire was down to that back, I think that was about 6. Because you remember we passed like the first thing, and we went to like that low point, and you ranged it, and it was like 450.
Yeah, that's right.
So
so we creep up, we'd stop, catch our breath, just so when it came time to shoot, we weren't totally shaken and out of breath.
Which I still was, but that's a different story.
Yeah. So we start walking, creeping up, and keep in mind where this is at right now, it's kind of flat, no trees, kind of open field where we're walking. But thankfully we had about a 20-something mile an hour wind blowing across us, so any noise or scent that we were throwing off was going to be not necessarily heading their way, because they were straight ahead of us, so the wind was blowing from left to right, so our scent wasn't getting blown towards them. So we start creeping up, and we're trying to figure out where to shoot. And the problem was, where we were shooting at, there was some pretty tall, what would you call it, like grass. I don't know what kind of grass it was, but weedy. I don't know, not expert in that. But the problem was we didn't have our bog sticks with us. Or we did, we just didn't carry them because we were in such a rush. All we had was our bipods on the front. And they're not the tallest bipods, they're more of a table bipod or like a prone with some flatter terrain. So we were trying to figure out where we were going to basically be able to set up and shoot. So we'd stop, range, look at them, see how they were shifting. They weren't moving much. They were just kind of feeding.
Yeah.
And, just staying within a 30-yard vicinity of where they originally were seen. So we keep creeping up. We get up about 100 yards more where we stopped. We look at them and we decide, okay, here's the game plan. We're going to go a little left. And we kind of seen a part where it dipped one more time and came up, and then it was a flat, pretty much where the rest of the terrain flattened out. So we decided we were going to get up to there, crouch walk up there, and then lay down and make it happen. So we did that, got up, started crouch walking. I had to remind Hunter to crouch down a little bit more because he's a 6'2" giant who doesn't realize how bad he sticks out there. So we get up there, we lay down, and at first we lay down, we had to move around quite a bit because it was kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
Especially, not only just because of the stuff we were laying down in, the vegetation we were laying down in.
That's what the pigs were in.
Yeah, the pigs were in too.
Because
they
it was
disappeared.
the same height grass, but it was a lot thicker.
Yeah.
It seemed. Until we got up there, it was just the same all the way through.
Yeah.
I thought it got a little bit thicker up there, but
it's just our perspective laying on the ground, it looked pretty thick, so it was kind of hard. So we lay down and we range. I ranged the trees behind them, which was about 265, and the pigs were just off the trees, so we were guessing they're probably about 250 or so, just because with all the vegetation and thickness, it's kind of hard to range the exact pig we were looking at. So we just ranged the tree behind it. So there's a pretty distinct tree behind it, and that was about 265 from where we're at. And we wanted to stretch it out farther, but that wind was kind of a
yeah.
pretty bad factor.
But with 308, it's not going to push it that
Yeah.
much. Especially right there. So, like, it was windy, but it was surrounded by trees where they were.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't very windy in that spot, but once you got out of like that little, it's almost like a cove where those trees got cleared out. It wasn't very windy in that.
Yeah.
But once you set foot out of it, it was below about 20. 15
Yeah.
to 20, somewhere in there. So
we stayed about right there, and we watched, and there was one that was pretty easy for the hunter to see, so that was the one he was going to take. And then they kept moving back and forth, and every time we freaking thought we were ready to pull a shot, they'd move.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they were moving like they were scared, and they were just slowly moving around, and we're trying to line up at the same time.
And trying to see one through all the grass and the brush and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't know, I probably had like a 4 or 5 foot window.
Yeah.
At 200 yards, that's a tough window to shoot through, I think.
Yeah.
Especially, out of breath, we basically just quickly walked 800 yards and about, how fast do you think it was? About 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes at most, maybe 5.
I think it was closer to 10.
Yeah.
Because
we stopped a lot.
Yeah.
But basically, we kept watching them, and we wanted to make sure identify it was just pigs, no calves or anything amongst them, which is very important because they can be hard to tell at distance. But that's one thing that if you're watching and you're trying to decide, what's some basic necessities I need for hunting. Sling, yeah, especially if you're gonna be walking. But your rifle, and then to identify your targets, especially with heavier rifles.
Binoculars.
Binoculars, which we both had on us. So we identified them, got it down. We decided which ones we were going to do, and we decided as we were walking up we were going to do a synchronized shot. We were trying to decide if we were going to do it 1, 2, 3, and then shoot, or 1, 2, and shoot on 3. We decided on 3, which I tried synchronizing with my dad one time, and that was terrible because I ended up not shooting. I choked on it because I was like 1, 2, and then I said 3. My dad shot, and then I froze and didn't shoot, and then it just didn't turn out good. This just flowed great because we said, I was like 1, 2, 3, and then it sounded like to
one
us
shot.
at least it sounded like one shot. Just
I don't remember hearing your gun go off.
Yeah.
At all. So.
Yeah, it's just one suppressed shot, and immediately we hear the pig squealing. We see 2 of them disappear, and then we see another 2 start running off to the left.
Yep.
And then the rest of them went off to the right, and then we could hear there's a creek bottom right behind them. So we could hear one down in there obviously screaming, which leads to, we sat there for a minute. I wanted to wait and see if they'd come back out because majority of the time, I'd say it's 50-50. Pigs are stubborn or dumb enough that they will come back out immediately after because they just don't care. But we sat there a few minutes, watched, gave the pigs time to expire in case they needed to. And then we got up and started walking. And that's when I freaking lost my flashlight, which got it free at work anyways. But
Still, it sucks you lost it though.
yeah, well, now that same area, because that's the same area I lost my 20 round AR mag.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so now that same area has consumed a flashlight and an AR mag from me. Luckily, it's empty. It didn't have any ammo in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we walk up, and as we're walking up, my vision's getting bad, and freaking Hunter goes, "What'd you say?"
Are those 2 spots pigs? Because we were still probably about 175 yards away.
Yeah, as we're walking up.
Yeah, but they were down a little bit.
Mm.
It was flat, but it wasn't perfect flat. It was still kind of a little bit of rolling hills.
Yeah.
Small. I wouldn't call them hills. It was just the terrain.
Little dunes,
Yeah.
worn out from
Yeah.
rain and everything.
And I could just see 2 little black spots. I couldn't see if they were pigs or not.
Yeah.
And I was like, are those 2 pigs? Because we didn't see anything in our scopes, binoculars, anything like that. We started walking just to go check because after we shot, there was a group that ran to the right, and there's a group that ran to the left.
Mm-hmm.
The group that ran to the left took a lot longer to get out, and I was like, oh, we can get a quick one off right quick. So I aimed down, and I saw they're crawling under the fence line or whatever that was right there, and I was like, I might as well just pop a shot, and I popped one, and I thought I got it because right past that tree line, where it gets really dense, there was just a dark tree, and I was like, son of a bitch, I got it.
Yeah.
Because I think he darted, so skipped the line and darted to the left like immediately. That's what it looked like they were doing.
And that's what I think. I think we did blow through, at least on those first shots. I think we blew through them for sure.
Yeah. I think mine did.
Because
I'm
we
almost
heard
positive mine did.
a pretty distinctive screaming from behind them, or behind the pigs where we ended up finding those. Which we got up there, and they're perfect eating size. We didn't weigh them exact, but I'd say they're probably about 75 pounds.
Close to 50.
Yeah.
In between that.
Yeah, they're decent sized little pigs, just good for eating. So we walk up and saw them, pretty excited, high five. That was Hunter's first pig kill, and that was our first time doing a synchronized shot too.
He kept saying, "You don't look excited," and I was like, "Dude, my fat ass is out of shape."
Yeah, because I'm gonna piece chocolate. I don't know why I kept staring at it, but because Hunter doesn't show emotion very well, and I kept looking over him, and he's just like staring, and I was like, oh damn, this dude don't care. And then, but as soon as we saw the pigs, I knew he was excited because he turned to me and we freaking sort of high five. And we're like, hell yeah, dude, because we never practiced really.
We've synced up shots one time in our only video that's not a podcast. It was by accident. I don't even know if it was in the video.
Oh, the range day video.
Yeah, I don't remember what. I was shooting my AR-10. You're shooting your 6.5.
Yeah,
and we shot like the exact same time.
Yeah, and that wasn't even planned. But it was a pretty fast moment. We planned on recording it, and we brought the camera and everything, but we were in such a rush we didn't get a chance.
And we didn't have a tripod.
Yeah.
So we couldn't set up the camera and
video.
walk up forward or anything like that. So
yeah, which next time we definitely will. As I've said before, we're kind of learning as we go. But we get up there, get the pigs. I gutted them real quick. I happened to have one knife on me. I thought I'd brought in more, but gutted the pigs real quick. And then we did something that usually I do, but I have a drag that I made front. I have like a little wooden dowel with some paracord through it and tied around their feet and drag them, no problem. But I didn't bring them, and I didn't really want to bring the truck all the way in there just because it's been raining and everything. The ground's kind of soft. So I grabbed both of the pigs. Hunter's carrying both the rifles, and we're dragging them. And for the next 30 minutes, it was just drag for like 5 yards, drop them. Drag for 5 yards, drop them. And it wasn't necessarily because they were heavy. It was just because my freaking hands kept slipping because their legs were just soaked in blood. And so we get up probably about 200-300 yards from the truck, and we decided, all right, drop them. Let's run the truck, get over there. Because the issue with out there is coyotes and buzzards.
What scared me, it was kind of weird because like you're saying like, oh, there's no way we could run to the truck in 5 minutes, grab it, and come back. We leave everything here, and you're like, no, coyotes, come on, get it. Right as we dropped them and we started walking, did you hear the coyotes? Mm-hmm. I was like, son of a bitch, they're gonna come out here and get that shit.
Oh, dude, they're bad out there. We need to do some coyote extermination out there. They'll be out there in minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's like whenever I shot those coyotes last year, I'd shoot one, immediately another one come out, shoot another one, come out. It's like they know, they've been out there so long, they know that gunshot means dinner time. Yeah. But yeah, we ended up getting back to we will hopefully have something like that recorded in the future. But going back to everything, as far as my rifle, just because I shot mine, I didn't shoot yours. Mine, I mean, it did what it pleased. I've never had a 308, and if you've listened to this podcast in season 1, you know I'm not against 308. It's just never been in the cards for something I really was gonna like. Wasn't my first choice of a cartridge I was gonna get. But I will tell you, so I got 3 kills in the last 3 days. No, 2 days. Yeah, 3 kills in 2 days with this rifle. And that 308 does some damage. It's been pretty impressive because it tore them pigs up pretty good. And then that buck I shot did him pretty good at 220. Which the 6.5 I have that I got last year, that one, tremendous. It's been amazing for me, and I can, hunt longer range with that rifle, no problem. But, when they make so many different cartridges, why own just one and just shoot just one your whole life? So
I'm a 308 guy. I like 308.
yeah, I know you are.
I enjoy 6.5. I think it's a good cartridge. I like 308.
Yeah.
It's way easier to find it. My biggest thing is ammo, like finding ammo. Because like when I go to the gun range, I don't bring one box.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring like 100 rounds and I'll blow through it.
Mm.
I'm not gonna blow. What would that be? That'd be 5 boxes. I'm not gonna blow $200 in 6.5 ammo.
Yeah.
Blow, $150 in 308 ammo.
I will say now, owning 6.5 and a 308, I like the 6.5 more because of the less recoil capability and being able to stay on sight, retain your sight picture. Just with me personally, but I have nothing against 308, nothing against 6.5. I love both of them. Each do perfectly for what I need them. I do like this rifle a lot more because it has a shorter barrel, that 20-inch barrel, and it just kind of compact look to it. But no complaints as far as this performed yesterday. I'll still have my focus set on 250. But yeah, no, the gun performed amazing. The Brigero, they definitely know what they're doing, and that's pretty apparent. You don't need me to tell you that. It's performed phenomenal, especially with it being so heavy and me being out of breath too. I did realize I was still able to hold pretty darn steady yesterday.
You weren't. It wasn't bouncing a whole lot.
Yeah, because with the lighter weight rifle after like packing, which you probably wouldn't have been as out of breath with the lighter weight rifle, but it helps make the gun more forgiving. Mm-hmm. Especially the heavy barrel too. That helps.
And then, so I have like that really bad habit. You knock the gun, like the sequence isn't that area, it's heavy. Mm-hmm. I have like this really bad habit with shooting rifles, like, at pigs and coyotes and stuff. Like it's only when like my adrenaline's really flowing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like I'll shoot and then I'll pick my head up before the gun settles back down.
You try to watch your...
Like, I try to pick my head up and watch where it goes. It's just a bad habit. And because, like, whenever I first started shooting, like, long range, I would do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, and I say long range, I mean, like, 200 yards at the gun range. Yeah. Like, I'd shoot and look up, see if I hit steel. But you don't need to look. Mm-hmm. You can hear it. Yeah. We're just trying to work on fundamentals, and then I kind of got myself out of it. And then, like, that hasn't happened to me in a long time. Like, picking my head up right off the gun. Yeah. Yeah, I think because my adrenaline was just flowing. Yeah, you're excited. You've only really gotten to hunt a few times, so it's still. It was my first time pulling the trigger on it on a pig. Yeah. So. It's a lot of adrenaline. First time pulling the trigger on a pig that I knew I was gonna drop. Yeah. I'll say that because I've blasted pigs with 5.56 and they just run off. Yeah. 10.5-inch 5.56 wasn't very. Yeah. It wasn't a fun time. Now. I do want to try something out one day. I want to take my 10.5 suppressed with the EOTech to my stand, because the majority of the time at my stand you can get shots like during the day. Like I sent videos the other day to you. You can get shots between 5 to 30 yards there, and they just bunch up and they don't care. They don't hear you or nothing. So I want to try one day, take that 10.5. And sneak out the back of my stand when they're all bunched up and just run up on them. See how that tries. Getting rid of the pigs. Most people know pigs are a pretty big problem here in Texas as far as tearing up everything, tearing up people's yards, crops, destroying fences. Yeah. Which can lead to cows getting out and everything. Running off other wildlife. Yeah, well, that's our biggest problem. That's why we're trying to exterminate some of them, is they run off our deer. Yeah. Quite some. Oh, which I've noticed. Those four does. We didn't bring that up either. Yeah, no, there's like 6. Was it 6? Yeah. I only counted 4. Yeah, no, there was. Unless 2 of them like ran off or something, or they were in a different spot. Because there was like 4 like stuck together and they moved together.
Yeah.
I think. Wait, was there 2 by the feeder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I didn't see them.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were walking up to shoot the pigs, over where my dad's feeder and everything is, we seen 6 does, which sucks for my dad because I already got my buck and doe for the year, but my dad's wanting to try to get doe. But the last day for shooting a doe without an MLD tag and non-black powder or non-muzzle loader was Sunday, which was
2 days ago.
Yeah, what day was that? 19th. Now, if he wants to go kill a doe, he has, can't remember until how long he's got, but he could get a muzzleloader and shoot a doe, just because we don't have the tags for in that county. The property owner didn't get them. But yeah. So, but then again, it's good because keeps the does around, which is always going to attract more bucks, allow the population to grow. You don't want to go in there and totally wipe out your whitetail population. Pigs, you know, I've seen, from what I've seen on a lot of videos and I've seen from personal experience, you can shoot at every single one of them motherfuckers you want and they're going to come back.
Yeah.
It's really hard to wipe out pigs unless, I don't know, unless you just drop a nuke in that area. They freaking repopulate. I can't remember how many they have a litter. I think it's like at least 6 or 7. And they freaking, yeah. Because like a few months ago before deer season, the video that was on our channel,
yeah,
we dropped 3 of them unsuppressed, and if that would have been deer, they would have been scared off. Probably wouldn't have seen them for another month or 2, if that. But pigs, I saw them the next day. See, we got like 3 or 4 groups out there, and with us dropping these 2, getting in there, in and out quick, guarantee I'd go out there right now and there'd be pigs. But yeah, you know, it sucks to say, or it's kind of like you take the good with the bad. Like, I hate that we have so many pigs out there, but at the same time, I like it because it gives me
something to do.
Yeah, target practice and meat in the fridge, or the freezer, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Which we stayed up till midnight taking care of that, which wasn't because of how long it actually takes. It's just we were, doing other things, and then we finally decided to cut up the meat and package it up. But yeah, how did you like yours as far as it performed yesterday?
So it performed really well. The only thing I think I would change next time is ammo choice. Because I zeroed it for match ammo, so I wasn't gonna switch it.
What match ammo were you using?
The Hornady match.
168.
Yeah, 168. But the issue I think that happened. So like that one, like it just pinholed through it. It was like right below the spine. So I also think I pulled my shot up a little bit. I don't know why. I think I was holding too high on it or something.
Yeah.
I think that match ammo just blasted through it, which is weird because people talk about match ammo like shrapneling all inside. So I might get some other kinds of 308 and then do some grouping tests, like probably get some soft points or something. I like the 168.
Yeah.
It packs a punch versus 150, which is what you shoot. Like they're about the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I said 168. I think 308's made for 168 range stuff.
I want to try some 168 Thermon.
Yeah. I would. I'll give you a box of my stuff.
Which I've tried the 168 Federal, and it grouped pretty well. It did. But I can't get away from that 150 grain Remington core lock.
Yeah.
Just because core lock's what I shoot a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout my other ones, which is cheaper ammo. It's not the best.
It's weird how expensive it is though, because that Hornady Black that I shoot for my 308, which I probably should have shot with this because it has that ballistic tip in it. I think that would have shrapneled a little bit more. I actually had some expansion. I think those are the same price as that, right now.
You know, 308 just isn't that big of a bullet as I thought it was. Like, it didn't look as big. Maybe it's I'm used to it now. Or maybe it's because I was used to the 6.5 before I really started handling 308. But it just doesn't look as big as I...
Yeah.
You know, everybody always says, oh, 308, that's the bullet to go. But there's a big old chunk of lead going down the range.
Yeah.
But
And it's chunky, but 300 Win Mag, I think, is more...
Oh, for sure.
And obviously, it has more powder. You can put heavier bullets in it, but...
You know what? Bullet, I didn't realize how big it was until I actually looked at it.
338.
Well, no.
What?
Like a more common one that a lot of dads have.
30-06.
270.
270. Yeah.
I did not realize.
It's just a long case.
Yeah, I didn't realize like just how big overall the whole thing was. Which I don't think. Now thinking back, I don't think I've ever shot his 270.
Probably won't let you.
Yeah.
Knowing your dad.
I wonder how 270 sounds suppressed.
I don't know. Probably about like 6.5.
Think so?
Yeah. And just you have to remember the thing. It doesn't matter what it sounds like. It's not gonna explode your ear or pop your eardrums out.
Well, I know, but like different cartridges do have a different suppressed sound.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, it also depends on the suppressor and everything, as we talked about before.
Also depends on bullet velocity too.
Yeah.
So just depends, I guess. Lot of factors.
Yeah.
So, but what else we can talk about?
If there was one thing you could have changed in your hunting experience yesterday, as far as your gear,
Sling, that'd be number one.
sling.
Yeah. Second would be like a backpack.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why that backpack I'm running is like $20 at Academy on sale one time. I think they were going like 40 something.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's falling apart. I need to get a new one. Like the zippers broke on it.
Yeah.
But those backpacks are so amazing. They're lightweight. They're, rather small box.
Ooh. Sorry. I'm surprised you didn't put your gun on top of your bag.
What do you mean?
Like, with the,
like
bipods, because you could have raised it up a good 2 inches.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I didn't really have anything in the bag besides our binoculars.
So is it like 2 strapped or is it like a single strap?
That one?
Yeah.
2 strap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like that range bag.
Yeah.
That we talked about last season. It has like a single strap, which I brought it with me because like that's like my range bag. But the thing about it, like when you put so much weight in it, it doesn't like to stay in the back. It kind of shifts. But
Yeah, which for those of you watching on YouTube, it's just a little your average tactical looking backpack. It's called Tactical Performance makes this backpack, but it was at Academy. Mm-hmm. This is what my main hunting bag is, just a small, low profile bag. I think that was one I used to shoot yesterday. I think that was one that killed. Whose is this? Oh, that's one of my federal rounds.
Yeah, that feels chunky.
Yeah, well, it's 180 grain.
Oh,
that one is.
Okay.
The 180 grain actually federal grouped pretty good too. It just, I don't know. I think I've come to realize too, never being used to a 308, I'm not used to the recoil per se. So some of my grouping issues right now is mainly me just getting better recoil management skills on that rifle. Yeah. What's this blue that the Federals have around their perimeter?
I think it's like a weather sealer or something.
Keep the
Moisture
powder
out.
from getting up.
Yeah.
Or getting...
I'm pretty sure that's what that is. What's one thing you changed about your setup?
As far as from what happened yesterday?
Yeah.
The one thing I'd probably change would be the padded sling. This sling didn't hurt me bad, but padded sling. The one big gripe, which Brigera will probably never see this video, but if you just happen to see this video and you work for Brigera, please put locking QD cups in your stocks because it's quite annoying when it swivels a lot on me when I'm walking, and I have to readjust every time.
Yeah.
Which the only other experience I've ever had with QD cups is on my AR, and they're locking cups, and I love that. I just wish that this one was, which I'm sure I can get some aftermarket cups that'll go right in there.
Yeah.
I'd just rather not go through that trouble. But that's really the only thing I'd change is the sling, and I don't know. I've been thinking about doing that Atlas bipod thing, but I mean that one performed just well for me. But
it is a little short, so a longer one would have been nice. Same thing with mine too. I think that's one other thing I would change is either actually using the box stick or getting a longer bipod.
well, typically I have longer bipods. Like my other ones are all rather long.
Mm-hmm.
But for this rifle, I just like that short, compact look that it had.
Yep.
Because I figured this gun would be. I mean, these extend out.
And that still wasn't enough.
Yeah, for that grassy area. But in the future, hunting that area, I'm gonna have a more. What do you call it? I'll probably have the bog stick with me just because it's easier to use in those taller areas and for pigs. Oh, I've never looked at this federal close. It does feel chunkier than the
Yeah.
Of course, it's 150 and 180.
Yeah.
I don't know. I may give these a shot because these I could group really good. They were they shoot 2 inches lower than these.
Yeah. Well, the heavier bullet's going slower.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know what else I would change. I need to get more gear. So,
There's one thing you've been talking about you're gonna change for sure.
Huh?
Go on your feet.
Oh yeah. So every time I've gone hunting, I've always worn like cowboy boots.
Mm-hmm.
And so yesterday, it was a very quick pace to get there, and it was not super comfortable to wear those. It could have just been the brand. I don't remember what brand boots they are. But then by getting some sort of hiking shoes that have like a little bit more flexibility in the shoe, and some better soles. I know there's good cowboy boots with good like insoles and stuff, but those are ungodly expensive for what I like to do. But also, I'm used to leather sole.
Oh, and those are rubber that you were
Yeah, and those were rubber. So people say rubber is more comfortable than leather. Personally, I don't think it is. I think leather is way more. It's for my feet too. So I find leather way more comfortable than plastic sole or rubber sole.
I mean, what I used to hike around in a lot for the archery shoots and stuff was rubber sole, and they were always really comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm. And it could just be the brand too.
Yeah.
Which you can get different. It could have been the insole. It could have been a lot of different things. It could be that I'm chunkier than I used to be, so a little bit more weight on my feet kind of hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at some Solomon like Ultra 4s or something right now. I think I showed you a picture of them yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are recommended to me by from a friend, so I'm gonna get those hopefully here pretty soon and actually start using them. So
I see now. I happen to have these in my backpack. I definitely. Dude, now that I've been dealing with the 308 and the 6.5, 223 looks so damn small. To me.
Yeah, it is. And so if you go to the gun range and you bring like your 308 and a 223, shoot your 308 first, that 223 turns into nothing.
Yeah, as far as recoil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But shooter 3 doesn't have a whole lot to begin with.
Mm-mm.
But you shoot a box of 308, then you jump over to a 223.
And
It doesn't.
There's God's cartridge right there.
22.
2250.
Yeah. It's not God's color. 39.6 is God's color.
No, 2250. Okay.
No.
That is
45 is considered God's color. But
45 ACP.
yeah. Which I don't like shooting 45. It's too expensive.
Yeah, we watched the video earlier. Some guys mowing down pigs at the 45, and I was like, God, that is spending some money on a
50
pig.
cents, 50 cents, 50 cents.
And it wasn't even like they were shooting once to get the kill. You know, it was a little.
It was one of those fully automatic videos. If you guys like have explored the internet, looking at pig hunts and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, mini guns and light machine guns and all that kind of stuff. They pulled out a Thompson in one of the videos, and that dude was just blasted.
Which, if any of you are wanting to, you know, sponsor the podcast and let us do those kind of things, we'll make content for it. But yeah, as far as that was kind of this episode. As far as what we were wanting to talk about is just how these rifles performed. Last episode we talked about them and the 100s, 20s, 50s. But mainly we were just wanting to see how our new equipment performed. Very easy, 250 yards, no challenge.
I shot higher than I thought too.
Yeah, I shot high.
Because I just put the crosshair smack in the middle, like trying to put it behind the shoulder.
Yeah,
So,
I held it like 2 inches off the back because I just didn't know what was going to happen.
yeah.
And I ended up hitting about 2 inches off the back. Still killed the pig, but you know, I definitely after yesterday, I know for sure now that we could definitely stretch it out probably 400 yards out there, and no problem.
But
So
it's pretty quick one. But
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this episode as far as going over our experience with the hunt and everything.
Yep.
So until next episode, stay safe,
Stay active.
and enjoy the outdoors.